in 2020 at Sundance, there was a movie that was supposed to be out by, I don't know, her name is Ninja Thyberg. She doesn't have a major career on there, but I mean, this would be her real major kick into the industry on there. And she created a movie called Pleasure. I'm going to read a little off of IndieWire. After a long journey dating back to Sundance 2020 and several distributors, Ninja Thyberg eviscerated the drama, opens in New York and LA in May 13th. Ninja is an in-your-face, unapologetic feature debut of Pleasure, woes the virtual Sundance Film Festival in 2021, but thankful to a new audience, gets to finally discover the film more than a whole year later on a big screen. It's a raw betrayal of the porn industry and its efforts on all participants. The film follows a 20-year-old woman named Liana, played by newcomer Sofia Kapal, who arrives from Sweden to Los Angeles in its glittering land of Hollywood that she assumes is the identity of Bella Cherry, hoping to become an international adult movie star. But that path to fame comes with a slew of compromising and anguishes as Bella starts to rise up in the industries, and the stakes too are raised. And some of her shoots become more increasingly harrowing, and her friends and lines of trust get blurred in the process. And this is the same thing that was happening in the Deuce. You saw some of this in The Deuce and a couple other movies. Movie about Linda Lovelace, a couple others on there. Hopefully they will do a proper movie to some of the major stars that there were some major controversies on. You know, like John Holmes, for example. His story itself, that is a story in itself, and also Tracy Lords and many others. A coolly detached but nevertheless ballsy evisceration of the adult film industry. The movie is based on Thyberg's own 2013 short. Yeah, this was a short that she did of the same name. In that film, a young actress is asked to perform a double anal penetration scene to save her job. The feature film version features no shortage of challenges. Zelda Morris, Evelyn Clare, Chris Koch, Kendra Spade, Dana Diarmond round out the ensemble cast. Both Morrison and director Thyberg. Axel Braun is also in this as well. Thyberg were nominated at the 2022 Film Independent Spirit Awards. Long before the virtual Sundance premiere, Pleasure was accepted for the 2020 Cannes Film Festival that never was. Pleasure were acquired by A24 out of Sundance, with the distributor announcing that they would release the full uncensored version as well as an R-rated cut theatrically in 2021. I would be very interested in the uncensored version, how much they would, between what the R and the uncensored version looks like. A24 later part ways with the film over its theatrical cut, making Neon, with Neon making moves to scoop up the film. Neon you're familiar with. Last year they released a couple films and delivered it uncensored to audiences. I'm happy and relieved that my debut and life's work is in the hands of Neon, who dared to launch the film with my original vision, raw and uncut, which I'm glad too. And that's the way it should be. You know, this whole thing, Snyder cuts and stuff like that. If the director releases a full version of it, don't cut it down. Don't take anything away from it. That is their vision of that. Neon added, we're thrilled to be working with Ninja on this incredible achievement and looking forward to releasing it in the director's vision as intended. Indies Wire David Ilrick wrote in his review that the film is sometimes glossy for its own sake. Pleasure turns out to be candid, pouring veneer on its head to examine the line between constant and coherent pleasure and pain. The most instructive piece of advice Bella gets is to enjoy what she does so that the people at home will believe her enthusiasm, which I could tell you that for a fact. That's pretty much what they tell you in the industry. But what the man coaching her either doesn't understand or understands all too well is that he's also conditioning her to enjoy what she doesn't. Elric wrote, an industry that rewards its female performers for voicing their pleasure is an industry that punishes its female performers for voicing anything else. It also goes for the male performers as well. So that's the one other thing most people don't realize. They think that the guys has it easier too. No, they don't. Less interested in giving pleasure than taking it back. The iceberg film might end on an ambiguous note, but few movies have been so eager to bear the simple truth of those words. Those days in the industry, and her character's from Sweden. Back in the day, one of the big things in Times Square was to get some of these Swedish films, and they were on VHS tape. They were very inexpensive. The quality, they were shot on 16 millimeter, very cheaply done, very cheaply edited. A lot of scratches. Even today, I mean, you can go on Pornhub and Xvideo and all that and find those on there. And no, I'm not talking about Swedish erotica. Before you get that in your mind, no, there are some film companies out there that there are Swedish, and you can find them very easily. And the quality, like I said, the quality is not that great. I mean, they haven't gotten better with age. I could tell you that for a fact. Going through the 80s, the 70s and the 80s on there, they weren't good in that era. They're still not good today. I mean, some tweaks have been made. Some are being the best of the best are being remastered, but that'll be another year or two. I think 2024 at the earliest on those particular ones, if they were able to get all the funding that they can. Now, from what I see from the Green Band trailer, it looks good. Neon itself, like I said, Neon, they've done stuff before. This is not their first, in the batter's box. Neon also was one of the companies that put out American brought Parasite over here from overseas, which won the Oscar. You have I, Tonya, if you remember that, Revenge, McEnroe, Colossal, another great low-budget film on that as well. Bad Hair, Possessor, She Dies Tomorrow, First Wave, Pig. You can go on and on and on. I mean, so many low-budget independent films. So we'll have to wait till May for that to come out. And like I said, the industry is a rough industry. It was never easy on that. I worked in it in the late 80s, right out of college. And, from the end that I saw, from what I saw, and the thing about it is I wasn't really on the sets. I was on the back end with the editing rooms and the duplications end. You saw some stuff on the reels that just was really unusual, and you'll never see those again.